Hello there, and welcome to Penny for a Tale. I am back on this channel since I don't know when, and I am super excited to be here. I have brought some amazing people here to play a really cool game, Legend of the Five Rings. I had the book somewhere, but I'm currently moving, so things are just going to be crazy this next couple weeks. Any case, without further gilding the lily, we're going to go around and you guys will get to meet these amazing, lovely people. So, Spencer, why don't we start off with you?
Yeah. Hi, I'm Spencer, or Spencer DVA on Twitter, Discord, the like. Should we also talk about the character we're playing as well?
Not yet. Yeah.
Okay.
Just you. That's. We'll get to the important stuff later. We'll talk about the cast over real people stuff now.
Okay. Yeah. But I'm excited to play in this game with these people. It's gonna be fun.
Awesome sauce. All right. Colin.
Hi, Colin Kelly, Colin_C_Kelly on Twitter. Yeah, I'm really excited. A couple of things. I do have signups going. I should actually probably tweet the form out, but that'd be a good idea to tweet it out. I am doing an LGBTQ plus only Waterdeep Dragon Heist campaign. I've been meaning to tweet out the link to the form, and I haven't. But I put it up in like a million Discords. And chances are, if you're watching this, you're probably in one of those Discords. So
probably
that. Maybe.
Yeah. Feel free to put it in the chat to my left for people
to do that.
Pop on. It's going to be really cool. Heists are awesome. All right, Greg. What you got?
Yeah, I'm Greg Schneider. I'm a Burning Rose, in some places. I do some streaming on Black Shield Productions on Sundays. We're doing some Elder Scrolls stuff now, so that's kind of fun. Maybe a little horror this weekend. It is the Halloween season, so we'll see that. But having fun and excited to be here.
All right, sweet. Pope.
Hey everybody, Pope here. Pope World Ball on Twitter, Pope World Ball on Twitch. I lurk in all your streams. It is good to be here playing in Rokugan again. It's been a while. Things have changed. Entire systems, in fact. So we'll get to try out something brand new from Fantasy Flight. Always a good time. And if you want to see more of this ridiculous face, you get an opportunity every other Sunday over on Matev7's channel for Sunset City, where we play a bunch of misfit superheroes. So going from something quite heroic to something completely different.
Bum, bum, bum. It's going to be awesome. All right, sweet. So we're just going to hop into this. Hello, everyone. Hermit. So today we were playing Legend of the Five Rings. I was a huge fan of the 4th edition. I think that was the previous one. The Keep 10 system was really fun. They came out with a lot of great books, but I'm also really excited about the Fantasy Flights game and what they're doing with it. I definitely really enjoyed the new dice system. They still have the Keep, so those who are kind of familiar with it, yeah, you'll get it. But other than that, Ryokugan is a little bit different from probably what you've read, just because we're done some new things and interesting things with this particular campaign. The first off is Ryokugan has just gotten over a war with the West, and that has greatly affected the economic and social piece of the land. So everyone's struggling. There's more pressure on the peasants to deliver taxes. And peasants are revolting in some places. So not the best time to be poor. The emperor has fallen sick, and there is currently a fight about who is going to take over just in case he dies, because it's looking like he might, though no one has seen him in some time. And the poor crab clan continues to protect the land from the Shadowlands with the growing darkness just south of their wall that no one believes in. You know, they're like crabs are just complaining. They just want more funding and people. Like, they don't need it. They're just exaggerating the whole Shadowlands thing. They're fine. We're fine, which infuriates most crab clan members. As you can probably tell by one person's face. It's very, very touching. But in this case, this is a story about one person and his companions as they try to make Ryokugan a little bit better. So with that being said, we're kind of hopping over to Shiba Castle, which is in the northeast region of Ryokugan in the Phoenix Lands. And we're kind of zoom in on one of our main protagonists of this season. Matsuo, why don't you go ahead and introduce your character and what is he up to during this afternoon?
Yeah, Matsuo is compared to some much bulkier, specifically his upper body tends to be a lot bulkier. His wide shoulders, his black hair tied at shoulder length, but only like half tied up in a bun. Just a constant 5 o'clock shadow. He's wearing more formal clothes right now, not in like proper battle attire or anything. Just a simple red robe. He does have his katana on his side, however, the hilt of which is very notably carved and engraved to look like a rising phoenix. His brown eyes are kind of, his brow is in a constant furrow almost, so he's constantly just thinking about something concerning. And right now he's probably attending to various legal matters, looking over maps, writing letters, sort of thing.
Yeah. And of course you get to look over all the passive but very polite, aggressive letters you continue to receive from the other people who are in line. If you ever have read a letter, it's almost like when the IRS asks you for money, you know they're trying to fuck you over, but they do it in the most polite way possible that you're like, oh yeah, this is my government. I trust them. So you have several of those letters from individuals from all over the land, and some people you haven't even heard of, who are just kind of throwing in their support for not you, and making it very abundant that you are not the heir apparent, that you're just this bastard who's come up and probably won't be anywhere or do anything.
He'll kind of look over one, read the start of it, be like, all right, another one, just put it in the pile.
Pile to be burned. All right. With that, we were going to go on over to Tesunori. What are you up to?
Tetsunori's probably nearby where Matsuo is, but not looking over legal things because that's not his jam. And Tetsunori is a younger man, probably in his mid-20s. Not necessarily the bulkiest in structure. Sort of looks like just some normal guy you'd see on the road if you were walking by him one day. The two weapons that he carries on him that can be seen, you see a wakizashi, I believe that's how it's pronounced, strapped to his side with a bow staff that's actually strapped to his back. But he has a couple other weapons on him just in case that can't be seen at the moment. He wears these black robes that are almost sort of similar to like the black robes that Shinto priests wear. And his hair is about neck length, messy. The one thing that stands out about him, you see on his right eye, is an eye patch that's made out of this gunmetal-like material that has a jade engraving of the Falcon Clan symbol on it. And the strap that goes around is sort of dyed to look like a flame.
I like it. All right, let's hop on over to Doji. How you doing?
Yeah, Uchi is also not too far away from Matsuo. but is kind of focused and practicing. He's also a younger man, early 20s, has maybe a little bit of bulk, but it's kind of like a solid square feel that also has that refined kind of a grace to it. He's wearing very perfect blue and white kimono that is embroidered and looks fine. He has his katana and wakizashi, his whole daisho, perfectly set, and his hair is dyed white in kind of a traditional crane fashion. It is long and in a perfect kind of tail behind him. The sword at his side has a white crane on it, so you can see the very detail of that. And his practice currently is to stand kind of in a courtyard or outside in a fighting stance with his hand on his sword, and he's been doing that for the last hour.
Excellent. Hida, what are you up to?
Away from all this nonsense. In full war gear, lacquered armor, daisho, tanto, club, Otsuchi, Ono, over his shoulder, standing on the walls of Shiba Castle, just looking out and looking over the terrain. I'm fairly certain that there's going to be at least 1 or 2 ambushes on the road to the next place. Fun.
Yeah, and you can see, kind of see the sun is rising over the horizon. You guys, you're elevated kind of near the mountains up to the north there, and so you can see kind of like these long stretches of land out before you. The place known as Ryukugan. It's just out there. But Hida, as you're kind of looking out, you do see a horse bearing a samurai. Kind of racing up the trail leading up to the castle, kind of heading towards the gate.
Quickly heads on down. The weight of the weapons paying no heed to them. Most likely a rider riding that fast is bearing bad news.
Yeah, just out in front of the gate, the rider ties off his horse. Just outside of it, there's a couple of little wooden beams. They're just tying it up to. Dismounts, takes off her helmet. It's this woman with long, almost reddish hair, dark brown eyes. She has a fan on her side as well as a katana. From the colors and the kind of emblem on her shoulder, you recognize the clan to be the Scorpion clan.
Grunts as he finally puts 2 and 2 together, and then tries to muster up as best he can politeness. My lady, what news do you bear?
She raises a hand, and you see the scroll with the imperial seal upon it. It's not for me to know, unfortunately, but this is for Matsuo.
I will take you to him.
Thank you. Might you have a bed and some food as well? It's been riding all day.
I am certain with the news, his lordship will grant you plenty of room and board.
Excellent. Well, I look forward to it. She proceeds in, following you, Hida. She has this very curious look about her, and she's gazing around this kind of restructured and kind of redone castle in its maze-like ways.
Just making note of precisely how tall she is in case I have to take that head.
About 5'10". You wager.
Perfect height for an axe. And just finally going through this maze and steps heavily as he gets close to Matsuo, so he knows at least Hida's coming.
Yeah, and Doji, I think from where you were kind of practicing, you could see them coming down the pathway.
Yeah, my eyes will regain focus on the real world, and I will follow them in. Whatever information is there, it'd be good that Matsuo has a crane as well as a crab for advice.
And a scorpion.
From where I am, would I probably hear Hida's footsteps coming?
Yeah, I feel like it's very recognizable. No one puts that amount of weight into their steps with such force as Hida.
And then I'll probably go to meet Hida and then eventually Doji, since we'll probably bump into each other.
All right, excellent. We'll say that Tetsunori and Doji, you guys kind of bump into each other, and then you see Hida and the scorpion coming up the pathway.
Tetsuro, it is good to. I'll just extend a hand towards the two of them and then head that direction.
And I'll sort of just, walk past them and follow Hida and this scorpion woman.
Already crowding the young lord, I see. I guess this is the order of the day. And as he makes his gruff remarks, I think we finally make our way to the office that Matsuo resides in.
Yeah, it's kind of like this small building, kind of etched into part of the mountain that you have kind of in this castle. So not really mountain, really just kind of this uphill with several rocks. It's one of the more defendable places because there's really only like a few windows and then the door that you can get in from the front. Those who have been here for a while know that there's kind of a secret exit to this place too. Depending on how much you know your history, I'll let you guys be the judge of whether or not your character would A, care or B, kind of note it in their thoughts. But yeah, the scorpion approaches, seeing Doji and Tetsunori. She has this look as she looks at the Falcon clan, almost a rolling of the eyes before bowing towards Uchi. Did not think there would be a crane here.
The crane does like to stick their nose in affairs.
It is important that we watch all of the Empire to ensure that the words of a scorpion are not misconstrued.
Well, these are not my words. I assure you, these are merely the words of higher ups. I'm just a messenger.
I'm sure that we will show you the utmost courtesy and respect of your station.
It's much appreciated, especially if the news is bad. But hopefully it's not.
Like, thinks a moment about saying something and then just shakes his head as finally, like, doesn't even bother knocking on like the door, just slides the door open and then lets the others pass through.
Matsuo probably looks up from the now probably like relatively large stack of just passive aggressive letters that he's put to the side, and like he's like basically at this point sorting his mail of
yeah,
this is actual should actually be tended to. This is just more passive aggressiveness.
Yeah, I think what I would like to do later on in the campaign is just put your address on as many bot websites as possible so that you can have the spam to reflect it in real life. So we'll figure that out. I just need your address. Just give that to me whenever. But yeah, this woman kind of pops in. What's really interesting is whenever she steps, there's just no noise whatsoever, no creaking. Everything is done with a casualness to it, but a lot of professionalism due to kind of a scorpion, which is kind of something people should be in awe of every now and then. But it really depends on what type of person you are. She places the scroll down before you, Matsuo, before bowing curtly, and
he nods and kind of notices the scorpion logo. It says, "Scorpion delivering the Empire's mail."
Well, if there's a job that needs done, it should be Scorpion, right?
Suppose. But at that, he'll crack it open and read it.
Excellent. Reading it, you definitely recognize the Emperor's handwriting. You've seen several kind of texts and such, letters that he's written, none of them addressed to you, but to other people. Upon the letters, it's basically this map with several scribblings surrounding it. The map is really hard to figure out exactly where in the region it is. You'll have to it's a specific region that's kind of zoomed in, so you'll have to kind of go through all the maps to figure out where in the world this is. And the scramblings, the wording sounds as if it's coming from someone who might be feverish. Thoughts that kind of trail off to other thoughts. There's one point in time where the Emperor is telling a story about, when he was a child and he got his first horse, and how he was able to hop on it without really any training whatsoever. But yeah, it's just kind of all these different little stories. So if you would like to figure out a little bit more, I'll let you do the appropriate check.
Yeah, I'll figure something out.
Yeah.
What kind of check would that be?
So you could do, it'd definitely be probably within the scholar. You could do a theorize, which is fire, analyze, which is air. Sense would also work with avoid. Really depends on kind of what you're trying to look for in this.
I'll try a sense, try to sense the intent of this letter.
Excellent. All right, go ahead and roll.
Void.
The first roll of the game. Let's see what type of campaign we'll have.
It is a 1 and a strife.
Okay, yeah. Looking it over, there's one point in time which it probably leads to the strife where you're like, maybe, and you're like, no. It's almost like going over a like Sudoku or something, and you're pretty sure you have that final answer, but then when you look back at everything else, it's just a mess and totally wrong. But yeah, you have this scorpion, this reddish hair, long hair, looking at you, this kind of with a question in her eyes.
Are you waiting for a response, or?
I'm just curious if that's all right, Lord Shiba.
If it's all right, I'd rather discuss this with my advisors.
Sure. Do you want me to take a seat in the corner here, or?
Here, my lady. Let me find you that room you were seeking.
Ah, yes. Okay. Yeah, yeah. I'll follow you. And she just casually follows over.
I lead her out. I shut the door firmly and then proceed to just make sure that we're walking astride one another
Mm-hmm.
as we're going down the corridors and leading her to, within this castle, the highest room
Like
possible.
all the way up. and she's trying to match your stride, but it's not. You have these large strides, and she has she has to every now and then she'll skip in order to catch up, keep pace with you. And by the time you get to the top, she's huffing and puffing.
Long ride?
Yeah.
Well, you'll appreciate the room then. Has a large bath.
Ooh. I assume I have to get my own water, though.
Yes. The well's downstairs.
Okay. And she just kind of crawls into the room, and you see her with her foot close a sliding door.
Once the door is closed, just a beaming smile as he starts walking casually down the stairs.
Excellent. For the other three, did you guys want to discuss before Hida gets back, or are you going to wait for him?
I guess it's really more up to Matsuo than us.
Matsuo just kind of lays it out on the table. It says, quite the message, Dad. All right. And looking at it what does this mean? There's a map, and there's a bunch of writing. There's a story about horses.
While we're waiting on Hida to get back, I'll look it over, see if I can interpret it.
All right, go ahead and give me a scholar check.
Yeah.
Let me know what ring you're using and how you're doing it.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna take the water approach to this.
All right.
And sort of survey both the letter and the maps that are there to see if I can find any sort of connection that might be there. And I don't have any ranks in a skill that would apply to this. I only have theology and sentiment for my scholar skills. So
It's gonna be difficult.
let's see. So that's 3. Oh, that's actually not bad. Well, sort of. I have 2 successes, an opportunity, and 2 strife.
All right, awesome.
Challenging reading things can be.
Yeah.
I mean, he's only got 1 eye, man. It's sort of hard.
Causes extra strife.
Well, also water is trying to make logical leaps. So
Yeah.
So you're reading through this, desperately trying to figure out what it could mean, trying to fill in the holes and the lines between them. Unfortunately, you're not, just like Matsuo, you're not really getting anywhere. But with your opportunity, I'll say you definitely, as you're kind of looking at it, because of your eye, it's very close to you. You smell something that is off with the scroll. Whatever inks were used isn't a typical ink that you would use for this sort of parchment. It just has a different odor to it. What that could mean, you don't really know, though.
I'm afraid I can't find anything coherent with this, but he'll go to Doji, since he's the only person in the room who hasn't interpreted it yet, and sort of hands the stuff over to him. Smell the ink. It's not used on this type of parchment. It's odd.
For sure. Shiba, I assume, Matsuo, I assume that you have given me permission. I would not presume to read the Emperor's words without your permission.
You're more than welcome. Yes.
I will take a look at it. I tend to take an analyzed approach, and I have some culture. It's possible I'm the only one here with culture, but I but I will use it as a skill. I think culture would be relevant to this.
Yeah.
I
did not do good. One success, one strife, and 2 opportunities.
Oh man. Yeah, it's definitely frustrating. But with your opportunities, I will say you can identify where you smelt this. Now that Tetsunori has pointed out, you smelt something like this before. You recall it kind of being on the southeast area of Ryokugan, almost across the waters from the Mantis clan. Maybe it's like a fish of some sort mixed into the ink, but can't really recall the exact fish.
I will say that it does seem that there is something strange in the scent, as Tetsuro has mentioned, and it is not something I would expect from the Imperial City or from the Emperor himself. I feel that there might be some hidden meaning here, and I do not know if that is from your father or from perhaps the messenger. They are known for such subtle things.
Hidden meaning would certainly befit the Scorpion clan. Could have just been hasty scribbling. All of this seems rather quickly written.
I hope you don't mind. I put our guest in the finest room in the castle that wasn't yours, all the way at the top.
Matsuo just kind of cracks a small smile at that. Thank you.
You're welcome. So, we done playing with papers? What does it mean?
I'm not exactly sure. It's very all over the place, but
it's obtuse even for you. Looks straight at Doji.
I'll make sure I return the papers to Matsuo and not return the gaze.
It's written in a strange ink.
Secret missives. All of you young lords haven't played the game long enough. Here, let me see them.
He hands them over.
Going to use Earth.
Mm-hmm.
Steady, just learned, experienced approach. And culture. Thank you very much.
Ooh.
Thank you very much indeed. Okay. 3 successes, 2 opportunity, 1 strife.
Excellent. Looking over the scribblings and stuff like that, so it definitely does have that odd smell. You can recall that something like this is often associated with a certain type of Shadowland distorted creature, a fish that kind of migrates from the Eastern Sea down into the Shadowlands and back up again. It's been an ongoing problem for a couple of decades. But the blood can very much be used to kind of pass along secret messages. The distorted blood, of course, the tainted blood.
Great. Starting our day with blood sorcery, are we?
I get a very concerned look on my face, and then it goes away.
Matsuo's concerned look gets more concerned.
Specific fish near the Shadowlands, in the Dark Sea. Its blood can be used to hide a message. Good news, bad news. There's probably a number of different ways we can leach out the truth from this. But I have a feeling both ways will be destructive. So we only get to do this once.
And this is done how?
Well, there's an incredibly expensive way and then the dumb way. The incredibly expensive way is using jade. It will cause a reaction upon the paper. The other is prescribed by law and is only done in very desperate cases. Unfortunately, one of my cousins isn't here to possibly, figure it out while we are all not looking. But I am wearing a jade necklace, so I guess we're doing this the expensive way.
Excellent. So you're moving it towards the.
I will take the necklace off and then just lay the necklace on the table and closely pass the paper over again and again and again over the jade.
Yeah, there's like almost a sizzling sound, and as you're moving it over, you notice that there's these burn marks aligned within the paper, kind of a reaction from this tainted blood and the jade. There is a singular message, kind of in the top left side of this parchment, and it says, "I am dead."
Perhaps it's some code?
You are thinking too hard.
Don't know how much code you can see in that.
Now there is code if you're playing games like a crane. No, this is a man who knows he is already doomed. He may not be actually dead, but he was dying when he wrote this. So, we need to get you south. Yesterday. And it's best that we don't inform our guest as to your movements.
Agreed. If a scorpion finds this out, then the entire continent will know in a matter of days.
Not just that. If a scorpion finds this out, well then, those within the clan that don't like you will see you dead.
Yes, that's something I've been worried about for a while.
Good. You're learning.
So what do we do about our guest?
It's very easy. Scorpions like the finer things. Send up a good meal. I'll even prepare one myself if necessary. Wine, dine, and when they get tired, and they do eventually get tired, we leave. I suggest you all get some sleep quickly. I'll see to our friend. Unless one of you wishes to, drink the night away and then try and ride a horse.
I'm not interested in the physical pleasures of the evening. as you might say, but would like to ensure that our guests did at least receive the proper courtesy of arrival in Shiba Castle.
Oh, by all means. She's a peach. Go and talk her up.
But I do believe that haste in departure is a premium here. It is perhaps even true that if she is busy at the moment, then a quick departure might be enough.
There are a number of things true about the Scorpion clan. I have fought with them. One, they're nearly as stubborn as I am. Two, they notice everything unless you get them rip-roaring drunk. Three, they really appreciate getting rip-roaring drunk.
If I was a scorpion, and I'm not, but if I was, I would think the crab would be very easy to get drunk.
You would think that, wouldn't you? Oh, when you serve on the wall, you drink all the time. It's the only way you can sleep.
Oh, I see. You are just still notice things when you're drunk. Tolerance, I guess. I understand.
If one is to serve on the wall, one has to build up tolerance to all kinds of poison.
We all do our training.
Yes. But some of us know the darker things in this world and how to kill them. Others get to be pretty and talk fine words. Now then, time to make a fine meal and the right sake pairings.
And while we're at it, we should burn that letter.
Don't. In fact, best thing to do is to keep it with you. The thing is toxic, and if we burn it, the fumes may cause even worse deleterious effects. No. Keep it, and when we find a place that is already sickened, we'll leave it there.
He'll nod and find like a scroll case or something to just kind of like put it into.
If the Imperial seal isn't too cracked, put it in the same case.
We'll do that.
It'll seem like we're following that map. All right. Well, Tesunori, if you'll do us the courtesy, see to the horses.
Yes, I shall get to that, as soon as I can. Yes.
Excellent. So, Doji, what kind of dish do you prefer? We all need to be eating.
What kind of dish?
Yes, especially when drinking.
Just the simplest of dishes prepared perfectly is the best. So, how is your rice and dumplings?
Rice is fine. Dumplings take time. We don't have time. So, a few rustic roasted vegetables, and maybe whatever decent fish cut well over rice. All right. Best put on your best face. She'll know that you're up to something, but she won't know what.
I just maintain my stoic expression and nod to Hida, as I assume we're leaving the room now and heading towards.
He is heading directly to the kitchens, leaving Doji to his own devices, as we're going to burn some stress and make some food.
There we go. All right. Why don't you go ahead and make a cooking roll? Let's see
Yes.
how good this is.
All right. So we are doing.
You get a bonus if you send me dumplings. I should have told everyone that. Right.
Good to know. Can't do that right now, but good to know. We will be doing labor and again earth, tried and true techniques, as well as we don't rush this. Okay. So 3 successes, 1 stress, 1 opportunity.
Ooh, nice. All right, what do you think your opportunity should be in this case?
I think that I have stumbled upon a scorpion that loves roasted mushrooms. And I just happened to prepare roasted mushrooms.
Perfect. I love it. I love mushrooms too. All right. Yeah, you have this beautiful dish before you. Very delicious mushrooms and such.
I have one thing I'd like to do here real quick before I tend to the horses.
Mm-hmm.
After both Doji and Hida have left, I sort of turn to Matsuo, and from under his right sleeve, he pulls out a closed fan that has that's his personal one that has sort of like this pure black ceramic candle, and like how I forget which Asian culture it is, how they'll prepare like broken pottery with like liquid gold.
Mm.
It's kind of like that, but with like maybe some sort of cheaper gemstone. And he sort of just takes the closed fan and sort of like taps it against Matsuo's temple, which is just his way of asking, "Are you okay?"
He's eating his snack.
Taco.
The the Ryukugan amazing passed down through the centuries taco.
And with that, he'll just kind of like grab the fan and like let it rest on his right cheek for a second, which is yes. Same language for yes. But there's a look in his eyes of like he's concerned, but hopeful.
Good. I'll always be here with you, need me. I have to tend to the horses quickly. And he'll just give Matsuo a quick little like peck on the cheek and then heads off to go check on the horses.
Matsuo kind of blushes, looks around to see if anyone saw that, and then goes off to get his armor.
if I see that expression, I'll jokingly let's see, what was the one for? I'll sort of jokingly twirl it in my left hand, which means we are being watched, and just keep walking away.
Oh, I like that this couple has a secret language.
And
a spicy taco.
But I'll sort of, head to the stables, and the one horse he'll go up to, which is his horse. It's a black horse, probably like Tetsunori actually has a missing eye. And he sort of, strokes its nose. Looks like we might have to go for a ride soon here, Aggro.
Oh.
You've been good to me before. I think you'll be good to me now. And I'll sort of dig a couple like sugar cubes out of my pocket, hold them up.
Yeah, it's got that wide grin with the little horse teeth, those little solid rectangular things that chomps down on the sugar cubes, not your hand.
Good. And I'll just turn to what I'm sure is like a random stable hand here at the castle.
Mm-hmm.
Prepare aggro and prepare Lord Shiba and the crane and the crab's horses, if you would.
Yeah, of course. Is there a particular reason? How long will they be traveling? Should I put provisions?
Provisions are something we might need, but the reason I'm not allowed to disclose.
Of course, Lord. I will make sure that they are taken care of.
Thank you.
I'll bow and start tending to the horses. All right, Hida, Doji, y'all ready for this party?
Oh, yes.
I was definitely going to, while the cooking was occurring,
Mm-hmm.
go up and see to the scorpion and ensure that the appropriate means of courtesy and honor had been established in her suddenly forget a word here, but in her room and all of that.
Yeah, as you approach, you hear heavy breathing on the other side of like the screen door.
I announce myself. We don't. I am Doji Uchi, inquiring if you are available.
Yes, as long as you're willing not to be so courteous and we kind of relax our guard a little bit, if that's okay.
I am not willing to do that.
Okay, because I
can
just
come back
got
at
off.
a different time.
Yeah, I just got off of a horse for like an 8 hour, and it's all stanky.
I am only here to ensure that if you had any additional needs, that the servants of the castle and others have managed to meet them.
Can you
Is there
bring?
anything else you need?
Yeah, I need some water for the bath, and maybe someone to help me to get into it.
He totally pauses there at that. Luckily he's on the other side of the rice paper door and can't see anything to hide his expression. He says, I will see if that's something I can arrange. And then he will scurry off at this stage.
All right.
He has met his match as the scorpion.
Bum, bum, bum. Yeah, but you can get her water if you want. For World of the Service can get it basically.
I will get the water and ensure that happens. But so I guess that means a return trip. But
yeah. All right. Before that return trip, well, Matsuo, what are you doing?
He is probably gathering up anything of note, likely putting on his armor and getting ready for the travel. And he'll just kind of take for a moment, feel overwhelmed, kind of looking in the mirror and his armor, and then probably go back down to to his office and sneak through that secret door. And down there's probably just a small forge where he kind of just takes out his sword and begins polishing it, sharpening it, and reflecting.
Excellent. Yeah, this tunnel was used a while ago. You've renovated it, part of it, but it kind of extends down. There's this door that leads further down, pretty much off of the castle, down towards a stream not too far from here. There are candles lit several meters in between. Not lit, sorry. There are candles on the side that can be lit if you were escaping. Otherwise, it's kind of filled with cobwebs and such just beyond that door. Yeah. There's almost this kind of sense of eerie silence as you're polishing your sword down there in the basement. Something's coming. something fantastical and horrific all the same.
He'll continue reflecting, polishing.
Excellent. Hida, what are you up to? You finish your food.
Finish cooking. He's once the dish is left to set and cool for the appropriate amount of time, immediately goes and raids the sake stores and just like, yeah, this one because she's probably posh, and this one because it actually matches with the meal, and this one because I like it.
Man after my own heart.
And just gathers all these materials up, gets a few of the castle servants to help bear this bounteous feast, and heads upstairs. Still all the while in his armor, but the bigger weapons are left behind.
Yeah. Well, you see Doji kind of getting the water. It's obviously it's going to take a couple of trips. We'll say that this is like your last trip with the water. As you're bringing buckets and buckets up.
Just sees the servants with the water and Doji, and just like he can't help it. He just quirks a slight like smirk as he makes his way upstairs.
Yeah.
Already got so in his mind, Scorpion 1, Crane 0. So we make our way up. I'll let the servants with the water go in first and hold off to the side with these.
Yeah, so the screen door has opened, and Doji, you know that she has not moved from her location on the mats. She has flopped down, and that is where she resides for forever, maybe. And she's still there.
Your water?
Yeah, just the tub. Obviously, just go put it in and then come over here and help me up. Get me in that tub. I'm like sore all over it.
Is she
just
decent?
just staring at him?
I will do the water, and then I will turn to her and I guess to some degree Hida there, and I'm sorry, I'm not sure that it is proper for me to assist you.
I say it's okay. So as long as you think it's okay, I think you can help me to the bath. Like I said, I'm really sore. It's hard for me to get up. I'm tired. If you could help a girl out, that'd be great.
My Lady Scorpion, I have brought some accommodations of food and sake.
Oh,
would you like
lovely.
this to be a private meal between you and Lord Doji?
Oh, I did not know that was an offer on the table. To dine in the presence of a crane. It has been some time. You know what? Sure. But you know what? I foresee the conversation will grow dull around 30 minutes in. So if you could come up and join us, that would be great.
I will make certain to join you in 45 minutes after the bath and the meal has begun. Excellent. And then just looks over at Doji, just back to her, smiles broadly in that sort of trying to convey best of luck, and then leaves.
Yeah, even just before you started talking, Doji had already kind of like turned his gaze to you with that sort of "please save me" look. And you did not do that. It was the opposite of a saving. But he is stoic, and he nods stiffly. Stiffly is the word we're going to use a lot here.
We're going to pass incredibly close as you stiffen, and at some point you have to get through your first seduction, lad, and then leaves.
Yeah, and you see her, she just has her arms up, kind of waiting for you to help her to the bath.
Okay, well, I'm going to attempt, because it appears that somehow this has ended up to be my responsibility, to as chastely as possible assist her into the bath.
So you're like grabbing her hands, but like looking away the whole time.
That is correct. You know, I can't look. I make sure that I touch as little of her as possible. I suspect that I should have some penalty for like not looking as I help her into the bath.
It works out. We're not gonna do a check for this just because she wants to go into the tub. Oh, but yeah, you hear a splash, and then what follows is like damp clothes and armors hitting the floor next to you. She's like, "Can you bring my food over here?"
I will do so. And then I will also prepare, to sit on the floor nearby. Apparently, we are having a dinner conversation, and ensure both of those things are there.
Yeah, she's looking at you, and you kind of feel her gaze upon you as she's like leaning over the tub, eating the dumplings and the rice. She really has no care whatsoever about like decorum. It feels like you see bits of like the rice fall onto the ground just right outside the tub. So what conversations should we have?
Well, I feel that we are different, that we come from very different understandings of proprietary and the like. But this is not unusual for me. I have spent some time with Hida, as you have seen, and he and I also are different. So that it does not mean that we cannot be friends.
Are you saying you've pulled him into a bath and had dinner with him while he was naked?
I am not saying that.
It sounds like that's what you're saying.
He also has a lack of decorum and a lack of, for a better word, honor.
I would think it's more so that we take off the mask after we have a long extended day of writing and we're tired. I could be all proper, but then I would be lying to myself because all I want to do is lay in this tub, eat, and make a crane blush.
I feel that you can be successful.
Thank you. I appreciate it. You're very supportive, and I really appreciate that. What is your name, by the way?
I am Doji Uchi. And yours?
Momo.
Do you have a family name?
It's not that important. Let's just leave it as Momo, right?
He doesn't say anything, but it clearly crosses Uchi's face that he considers it very, very important, but will not say anything.
Just your average Momo. So, Crane are known for their elegance in conversations. So what do you have? First topic is on you, and then I'm sure by that time Hida will arrive. How about the other two? Are they going to join us?
I do not know, but what I can talk best about is what I know, which are the lore and stories of the Crane clan. Have you heard of Kakita's betrothal?
Skip. Next topic.
Well, there are significant other heroes from our past that could be.
Okay,
that I have.
skip.
Well,
Do you have something that doesn't have anything to do with the crane?
oh, of course. Perhaps we should discuss the flowers that grow in spring around here. And I basically just launch into like the total non-topics, the weather type topics.
Yeah. Yeah, and you can hear like she's smacking her lips the whole time. And yeah, we'll say Hida, I think this is a appropriate time. 45 minutes later.
Yeah, just as like the tables have turned from Doji suffering to her suffering.
Yeah.
That's why you add the extra 15 minutes. He enters the room. Less weapons than before, just the dice show. Still wearing the armor. Scorpions. Closes the door behind him. Has more sake, just in case they got through the first three. And comes in unabashed, not a care in the world. Just sits there by the tub. Starts picking into the plate he had made for himself. So, now that you two have become acquainted, I am guessing I am here to liven up the conversation.
Yes, he proposed to me. I declined. It's not going to work out, unfortunately.
It's sad to hear. So, I should probably tell you about my time and my experiences with one of the storied members of your clan, Bayushi Rin. Tallest woman I ever met. 7 foot tall, could break a man in half.
I'm just trying to get out of the room.
Whoa. Uchi, where are you going?
I have heard Hida's stories before.
Well, no, I'm skipping this story. We're going to talk about something else.
Oh, okay. So I can't interest you in the Red Terror. All right.
I've heard that story 1,000 times. It's fine.
Oh, you know her. Even better. He just stops his face. Oh,
this bastard that you guys are with, how's he doing?
The kid doesn't know his head from the hole in the ground, but neither do most of those that come from the Imperial line.
Tell you what.
But then again, he knows so little that he can be guided, unlike the others who know so much about the world.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing. Everyone's trying to figure out who to prop up. Yeah.
Again, everyone has their stakes, considering the Emperor's ever-declining health.
Yeah. Did you hear that one of the heirs was assassinated a couple nights ago?
I'm not surprised.
Yeah. Apparently, they're going after all of the heirs. Several attacks have been pushed back and such.
Again, if they manage to kill off the line, it means any of the other Imperial families can immediately lay claim to the throne. I wouldn't be surprised if the Otomos are finally getting off their asses to try and take it.
No attacks here?
We're in the far north. It's cold. It's wet. It's irritating. It's home for me. But
I didn't like it. I was chafing all the way up here.
oh yeah, no, I'm fairly certain that they're expecting him to eventually make his way towards the Imperial City and try and kill him then. Or if they are the Otomos, they'll just wait until he's within the city and then see to his doom.
It's a coming.
But again, I'm not surprised I mean, any of the imperial families could lay claim, and I'm not surprised that I mean, if anything, my money's on the lion soon as the third heir dies off to start pushing for them to lay a claim as they constantly try to expand their borders.
Yeah.
And just continues stuffing his face, not caring a world, not an ounce of decorum.
Yeah, and she's like resting off, just like gazing down at Uchi the whole time, eating her food and drinking a large quantity of sake. Matsuo and Tetsunori, what are you guys up to?
I would assume that we have to join this conversation eventually. So I, knowing that our guest was suffering some bodily aches, I would like to work on making some tea for that.
Ooh, that's good. All right, go ahead and make the roll.
Yeah.
You gotta tell me what type of tea.
Oh God, I don't know tea.
Because my body also hurts, so if there's a tea that can help.
Let's see. I'm going to just use void for this. So that is okay. That sucks. I did have one exploding dice, so hold on.
Ooh, that could maybe not suck now.
Okay. Let's see. So that's I guess 2 successes, 2 opportunity, and 4 strife.
Oh my. Oh.
But luckily, my tea passion lets me remove 3. So
There you go.
that's fun.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting at. So once I get the 3 removed, I'm sitting at 3 strife. So,
Not too bad.
yeah.
All right. So what does this look like? What do you think the opportunity should be?
Maybe there's like maybe just to make her fall asleep faster. It's a mix of, teas that have regenerative properties, and then also with the opportunity, a little bit of like a sleeping agent sort of thing in that tea as well.
Ooh, nice. All right, cool. Yeah, you have it. It smells. I'm just imagining Southern tea, but that's me.
And I'll sort of walk into the room with just the 1 cup and like a small pot. For you, lady, I don't think that... Momo. Okay. There's all the tea you might need. That'll help with those muscle aches of yours a bit.
And the chafing.
Maybe.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. It's only so much tea can do, right? You all have been amazing. This is probably the best time I've had in a while.
Well, I'm glad to hear it. If I haven't introduced myself, I am Tesunori Daitaka.
Falcon, right?
Oh, an inquisitive one. And I sort of tap the eye patch.
Well, mostly we've heard that the Emperor's bastard son is betrothed to a minor clan, and you're probably the only saving grace to him.
I've known him for some time. The Lord is a good man.
Takes more than a good man to rule a country.
I'll take whatever. I'll take like a shot of like the posh sake.
Yeah, and she's drinking up that tea. Like she has foregone the cup and is just kind of like taking the big kettle and just. Oh, that's good.
Do you believe it does take to rule a country?
You have to be.
I believe the word you're looking for is practical.
Maybe. What do you think? Oh, wonderful and wondrous crane.
Tetsunori will roll his eyes at that statement.
As a side note, I was reminded earlier that I feel like that Uchi probably has taken a whole bunch of strife for this scene. I'm just going to mark 3 off for now, and we'll see if it's more later. But to answer the question, he says, the philosophers say there are many things. I certainly would add wisdom, but since you seem to have an opinion, I was curious as to what it was.
Well, I know you have to be as swift as a coursing river. I know that you have to have the force of a great typhoon, the strength of a raging fire.
Mysterious as the dark side of the moon, we know. It's from a fairy tale.
Yeah. So I think that's it, right? It takes someone who is a fairy tale to lead.
And I think you will find that Lord Shiba will surprise you in some ways.
Really? Is he going to come up? Is he afraid of me? Or
be like, he should be joining us soon, making sure that he can hear that part in earshot.
At this point, he's probably finished tying up his Naginata to his horse and all the things he's going to need, and debating on about putting his armor on and then just completely ignoring the guest and then just kind of realizing, I gotta go up, keeping ropes on and heading up.
Also, other Doc, welcome to the channel! And thanks for the raid, man. We are playing Legend of the Five Rings. We are trying to make Uchi of the Crane clan as uncomfortable as possible. So feel free to post how we can do that.
It's a character concept. I'm rolling with it.
Yeah. So you have this woman who's in a bathtub, drinking tea as well as has food, kind of just like dribbles of it on her mouth and everything. She's super casual, relaxed, poking her head out of the tub and kind of gazing down at Uchi as you walk in, Shiba.
Walks in, gets a lay of the room, sees the whole Uchi situation going on, kind of cracks a little bit of a smile, and then just goes and sits down.
The bastard.
I've been called worse.
What have they called you?
Oh, a lot of things. I suppose you saw those letters when you entered.
I did.
My office.
I did. Yeah, I know a couple of friends who've sent you some of those letters. So,
Oh, I'm sure.
yeah, I'm sorry about that.
He shrugs.
Yeah.
You have letters that you don't often see someone of the Scorpion clan delivering a letter from the Imperial City.
Well, about that, and she kind of raises her hand, and then her face smacks the tub, and you hear snores coming from her as she's just like.
Well,
looks at Hida. Good job.
And
No, don't thank me. This is
and
partly
Tetsunori
why.
just raises a hand.
You continue to surprise me.
I get up quietly and prepare to exit the room with the rest of them.
I grab Doji by the shoulder. Someone's going to have to help me put her in bed.
No, I'll see to our guest. You all do what it is that you need to do.
I think Doji suffered enough for tonight.
Yes. And they did it quite well.
I
An
actually did give
actual
Hida,
bow.
I mean, I give you a look of relief as you stepped forward there, and then work to not leave the room until Matsuo has left it.
This isn't my first woman that I put to bed. You all get out of here.
Matsuo just goes ahead and leaves.
And as we're all sort of leaving, the horses have been prepared for you, so whenever we need to leave, we'll be good to go.
Excellent. Yeah, you make your way down. Hida, I assume you just kind of flop her onto the.
No, I'm very deliberate. I take her, I put her in bed. I'm going to mess and check before. I want to actually like assess her, just in case somebody did something a little too far.
Go ahead and roll.
Or she's putting on one hell of an act.
Scorpion deception. What is this?
We're going to go water this time.
All right.
Better idea to make those logical leaps. Oh my. So we're looking at 3 successes, 2 opportunity, 1 strife.
Very nice. All right. So you're kind of checking her over, making sure she's okay. She is fine. It's just the alcohol between the alcohol and the tea, her body's like, nah, we're done for the night. She does have a lot of scarring on her back and her body. One thing that's kind of curious is that as you're kind of moving her, you see that one of her teeth is loose, just kind of on the side here. But yeah.
Knowing Scorpion, I'm not going to mess with that. But make sure she's well tucked in. See to her that her things are actually properly in order. And then quickly scribble, "May the Phoenix continue hosting you well." And just a little note for her to wake up to, and then get the hell out of there, grab the rest of my gear, and let's get riding.
Excellent. Yeah, coming down for the other 3, you were preparing your horses and everything. One of the stable boy approaches you, and there's something odd about his eyes. The irises are just kind of that fills their head, their eye socket, basically, just wide-eyed and inquisitive, but in a manner that kind of somewhat sends chills down your spine.
Are you okay, son?
Yeah, I'm fine.
You look like you're wanting to ask a question.
No? Fine. I hope you guys have the safest of travels. Where are you headed off to?
My adopted father, Lord Ishimoto, he's asked us to deal with a simple peasant revolt.
Well, go, I guess, stifle that revolt.
Not really sure why he's putting us on this, but...
Walking in, hearing just the tale of this, "You need glory in order to secure that claim.
I suppose.
I hope you sharpened your sword. You need to be collecting heads." And then just hoist myself onto the horse.
It's crude, but clearly if the mantle of Emperor was to fall on you, that is a legendary mantle, and it would hopefully fall upon a legend. maybe we can make a step that direction.
I'm certainly far from legend, but we'll see.
But every journey begins with one step.
Well, let's get stepping. And
Let's do this.
makes a
All right.
couple of clicks and heads off.
All right, you guys head. I mean, it's approaching nighttime, but off you go. Where are you guys headed to?
South. Probably, if we are in Castle Shiba, which is towards the coast, next stopping point would be Asako, the castle there. Significant in size and not too long of a ride. There we can take on more provisions.
All right.
Just a fun note, I left my equipment behind because starting crane equipment includes an attendant.
You're leaving your attendant?
So I'm leaving my equipment behind, sorry. Yeah.
Oh. It's kind of a bummer. All right.
I mean, I assume that the midnight ride with a lot of you, you're not into me grabbing an attendant and bringing it along. Them along, sorry. I need to.
Yeah. Well, Hida gets to bring his big weapons. I mean, why can't you bring a person? Like,
I'll leave that up to Matsuo.
We deny the crane someone to press his clothes.
As much as I would enjoy more company, it's probably best we keep our affairs to just the four of us.
For now, at least.
I
Excellent.
will endure.
One wrong word and the Scorpion clan could have hands and eyes all over it.
They already do. They sent a distraction to go with your note. One that we somewhat indulged, but we didn't indulge fully.
True that. So you guys are, as you're heading down, nightfall is slowly approaching. You see the stars, especially the mountain being so close and high up. You all hear hooves of approaching you coming up the pathway. A large set of them.
Quickly off to the side of the road. Tie off the horses to the nearest tree. Make ready.
Of course. And Tetsunori's already sort of like been fiddling with his wakizashi a bit and sort of has, it pushed up a little bit with his thumb, but ties off his horse and waits.
Same.
I know it's not graceful, but my lordship, it's best that you hide.
Hand is on the sword.
You, my good friend, looking over to Doji. I hope all that practice paid off. One way through this might be a duel.
I am prepared.
Good. I don't feel like having to kill 10 men tonight.
Speaking of 10 men, 5 individuals come up wearing what looks like crane clothing, very, the whites and the slight blues, looking fabulous as hell. One of them even has long white hair. But yeah, they. So who is a parent on the road?
Sure, I'm obnoxious.
I'm not too hidden, but I'm not trying to be obvious either.
I think I'm probably doing about the same that Doji is.
All right, cool. Yes. Yeah, Matsuo, what you up to?
It's very best to hide, but Matsuo probably, despite being told to hide, probably won't. We'll just give a word of, I don't know any sort of emperor who would let others fight his own battles for him.
That's what emperors do, damn it.
That's all emperors do.
That's all emperors do. No.
They don't do anything else. They just let other people fight their battles.
But he will stay towards the back and more or
Yeah.
less out of sight.
Yeah, not like
Not
stealth,
like, hello,
but
I'm
like
here.
it's dark. Yeah. The five approach and kind of eye those that can be seen. We're here for Matsuo Shiba.
Well, aren't you forward for one of yours? Where's the legendary crane courtesy and, formality? All this forwardness, I'd think you'd be one of the Kuni.
My apologies. We are on a very important mission, and we need to speak with Lord Shiba as soon as possible.
Well, I suggest you keep on your horse and keep going on north. I hear his lordship is entertaining a messenger from the Scorpion clan. You can all have a wonderful time talking with one another.
Go ahead and make a deception check.
And Matsuo is trying to just stay out of sight right now.
This is
Ready?
not going to go well because I am nothing if not honest. In fact, I am so honest that I'm at a penalty for this.
Oh dear.
Ooh, uh-oh.
Good.
But since I am being as crass as possible and as formulaic as possible, we're going to use Earth. So. Wow. Okay.
Good wow. I rolled again. It's probably a good wow.
It's a wow, folks. Let me look at my flaw here.
Oh, right. Oh, I gotta reroll. That's what the extra rolling was.
No. I need to specifically look at this because it might just wipe out all of those successes. So. Oh, good. I used the right ring, so I don't have to necessarily wipe all of this out. However, I automatically gain 3 strife, and that was 2 successes, 4 strife in total.
Oh.
Ooh. Yikes.
They believe you, or at least it seems like it. They bow and move on their way. Doji, why don't you? There's something off about them as you're looking at them.
I was thinking too, yeah. I was like, crane, huh?
So I'll let you make a test to figure out what exactly might be off.
Yeah, I was definitely wanting to kind of look if I knew them and that sort of thing. I'm thinking courtesy. And is this more of a recall or an analyze, you think?
Analyze.
Okay. This turns out to be the best roll I can make for my character.
Yeah, this is your moment. This is your duel.
Okay, well, I did get 2 successes. 2 successes, an opportunity, and a strife.
Okay,
All right.
excellent. You are pretty confident that these aren't Crane members. The way that they talk, they act, like the slight shift in their accent, because I always believe that every clan will probably have their own accent and way that they talk, and even if we can't kind of reflect that via roleplay, like we all know that the Clanes have different ways that they approach things, and they don't talk like Crane clan members who've lived their whole life in the lands and have been taught as Crane members. Even their clothes seem slightly off. It's not the same way that like you're looking at it, you're like, no, we would not embroider it like that. Like we're more like a cross stitch vertical. I'm making up sewing terms, but you get me.
Absolutely. They are riding by though, correct?
Yes. All 5 of them are riding past you guys now, heading up towards the castle.
As soon as they're gone, I will turn to Hida and the group and say, I am, as a Crane, I will tell you that I do not believe those were Crane. Word has clearly reached of things, and it is good that we have left the castle.
Hida was right about our previous friend being a distraction.
Buying time. So, let's mount up and keep going. We'll probably meet a few more as we go. Whoever wants you dead is going to start moving.
Just hope we don't have to fight any of them.
Oh, we're going to have to fight plenty of them. It's a long way to the Imperial City.
All right.
Don't get your hopes up. You only live with disappointment.
Excellent. All right. So, as a respecter of time, that is the end of our show for today. We had a little bit of late start, some technical issues. I'm in the process of moving, so obviously it's going to be crazy. Next week, we'll actually start on time. I promise. 6 p.m. To 8:15 Eastern Standard Time. Guys, leaving moments, your goodbyes. We'll start with Spencer. What do you got to say?
For the first session of playing the system, I am so excited for what's going to unfold later. I apparently roll a lot of strife, which I think for my character's backstory is actually pretty fitting. So we'll see how that unfolds for him later in the future, but I'm liking the character so far, liking the system, and I'm excited to see what this story holds next for this group.
Excellent. All right. Colin.
Yeah, really cool. It's a really cool system. I gave a second read over of the rules last night, and I'm excited for whenever our first duel occurs. Duels.
It's gonna be amazing.
Duels are awesome, and I love duels. It's cool. and I'm curious who our first duelist will be.
Yeah, I'm curious too. I'm hoping it's Doji with like the most. I either want it to be a pompous off, or to have like a peasant duel him with like a shovel. Those are my goals, but you know, it's not up.
I think that shovel would be great, right? Because Doji really doesn't actually want to slash anyone. That would be a really big way to give him some more strife, which has kind of been my thing so far. If I jump in on the Cloak Reflections,
go ahead.
That this one of the things I really like about the Elfivar system is this one is how they deal with the strife and the becoming compromised and breaking face are become mechanics of the system. And so this definitely, I'm looking forward to those times when Doji gets to become compromised and that strife gets too much. So I'm accumulating already and looking for more.
Yes, and definitely keep those strife, because I want you guys, just like I can't get rid of my stress whenever I want, neither will you until you explode. Which is going to be really cool seeing. All right, Pope.
Hey everybody, Pope here. Pope World Bill on Twitter, Pope World Bill on Twitch. I lurk in all your streams, and it's good to be a crab. It put all that courtesy in the dustbin and not give a damn about it. but at the same time, there are things that will even push a crab to break the mask. Because as much as they bluster, that's a defense mechanism.
We're gonna have to
And
find that spot. It's gonna be great.
it's not hard with this character. But it is going to be an amazing journey with this wonderful cast and crew, and I am looking forward to every second of it.
It is gonna be so cool. I'm excited. It's gonna be amazing. I'm sad we had such a late start because there's so much ground we have to cover for this amazing things, and I got some of the coolest people joining us. So everyone, thank you for hanging out with us, joining us Friday. Make sure to check out Penny Fertel. We're doing another short rest with my boy Daniel and Ian, so that's gonna be a lot of fun. I have a couple of unboxing stuff I need to do. I got Alien, the starter kit, as well as the Destroyer of Worlds, which is going to be cool. I'm going to unbox it so you guys can check out what exactly is in it. It's going to be really cool. I know Paizo's sending some stuff, so it's going to be really fun, really cool. And so for our final moments here on the stream, we have a very important announcement from Gordian Solutions, brought to you from the future. I know you guys really weren't expecting it, but Colin, can you give a little description about what's coming?
Oh yeah, of course. Obviously, horror is coming, but what better way to fight the horrific monstrosities than a gun hammer?
Yes. Gordian Solutions is now accepting the gun hammer as part of the items that all of the technicians can have.
Lydia's now swearing at us. Good.
So just so you know, Gordian Solutions, we will be having gun hammers for the cult campaign that is coming up on Cult Divinity Lost. Make sure you check out the gun hammer. We will be using it. So let's all just go across one more pass through on what you guys think of the gun hammer in Cult Divinity Lost and Gordian Solutions. We'll go the other way this time, and then we'll leave on that note. So Pope, go ahead.
Gun hammers are Xenos heresy, and you should all be purged. But if you're going to have a damn gun hammer, it might as well be in Cult Divinity Lost, because you will blow yourself up and everyone around you, and that's the purpose of Cult.
Boom. Yes, if you want to kill yourself as well as kill the other thing, gun hammer. Greg.
I don't know what a gun hammer is, so I'll move on.
You see,
I don't think you want to
some
know.
waters here.
You see, Greg, it's a hammer that's also a gun, and it's fantastic.
Doji Uchi doesn't believe in that sort of stuff. I don't know what you're talking about. That's not real. That's some spiritual magic thing or something. I'm not getting it.
All right, guys, that is it. We've had a lot of fun. Thank you very much. Hopefully our tech person can send us off in perfect fashion. Who knows? But yeah, until then, we'll just kind of awkwardly stare at the screen so that you can look at our beautiful and wonderful faces.